Sharon, push the button. Jesus, I'm just messing.
Damn it.
Fish Conro.
Fish Landry.
It's the best videos ever. So anyway, we're going to talk about WHIPOUT.
Who is beneath you?
We're calling out class of 12, and I do not know who's down there. That's not even my privilege.
And we can't see MS stocks over down below us either.
Our sophomores in WHIPOUT, and then we're going to call out our juniors in WHIPOUT.
But mostly sophomores.
Mostly sophomores. I'm going to call
just the WHIPOUts that we remember from like the beginning of time.
Yeah. So
I've never whipped out to Mr. Martinez sophomore.
Shut up!
So, yeah,
now he knows.
Why the hell are you always trying to fuck up our videos? Jesus! Okay, so anyway, let him go. Because I don't remember the WHIPOUts, actually.
Okay. I remember my very first WHIPOUT was cadre with Mr. Wright. And I remember just like for all three WHIPOUts, the sophomore cadre, and then the junior, and then the senior, which however order that went, I never whipped out first. I would just stand there, listen to all my buddies around me whip out, and then I would whip out. And so I listened to like Mr. Wright coming from one direction, and it might have been Mr. Gillespie coming from another direction. And I remember with Mr. Wright, I was, you know, hi, my name, sir. It's Bright. No, glad to meet you, Mr. Bright, sir. And he's like, it's Bright, not Bright. Get it right. Do it again. And I was like, okay. But I remember Miss Wright's WHIPOUT.
Okay, now I can remember some. Okay, so when I whipped out to Miss Ferris for the first time, because she's on cadre, she's like, it's Ferris. I was like, howdy, Miss Ferret, ma'am. I'm just like, wow, that's not her name. It's not Ferret. I found that out later. I did. And then, I remember when I whipped out to Mr. Bennett, I was like, I was doing it straightforward, right? He's like, look at me, and I'm like, oh my god. Look at my face. I'm like, where is it? Do you have to have a hole like the giraffes on, what is that movie? Dumbo? Yeah.
Yes. I remember with my Miss Ferris WHIPOUT, it was the first time I ever whipped out to a female. So I had the whole Miss problem going down. Plus, I was, how did you know my name, ma'am? It's Ferris. Glad to meet you, Miss Ferris, ma'am. Because I almost said sir, because I'm just, no, sir.
That's not
I didn't say sir. I don't think I've ever said sir during a WHIPOUT.
No, you haven't.
Ever. No, once, because it was a camp. But I remember my, what was it, Mr. Springer's WHIPOUT, because I think everyone does, because he was like, where are you from, fish? Fish, fish. Sharon's doing it.
I wanted to smile so bad when I whipped out to him, because I'm like, man, you're the guy that recruited me, and this fucking sucks.
So, kudos to Mr. Springer, because every fish remembers whipping out to Mr. Springer, apparently.
Because he's a BAMF.
Except for Paul and Hicks, because they...
And he's got a clan of alpacas, and he totally owns Mr. Watson. And then he's also got a clan of emus and peacocks. And
You can bird.
Oh, I gotta get my little ducky.
Another one that I remember really well is Miss Clark, because I whipped out to her on the major sophomore night. Only thing was, I whipped out to her twice in a row. I whipped out to her and, you know, Miss Clark, whatever. She leaves, and I'm by myself just staring at the wall. And then she comes back, whip out! And I was like, there's two? No. Like,
there's two!
Turns out there's just one. She whipped out, I whipped out to her, she went away, she came back, whipped out. I was like, didn't we just do this? Oh.
Yes, that is how Fish Aaron laughs, just so you know.
There you go, a little taste of it. Fish Landry has like 5.
So now you know two gluins, he has a vagina, and he laughs like a vagina, if a vagina could laugh.
He still has not metamorphosed his genitals.
No, he hasn't. He still hasn't clued into his buddies. Jesus, Fish Landry was kind of so scary, it hurts my face.
What else do you remember?
Penis.
Okay, I remember, as far as the juniors, I remember...
Still sophomores. Clue in.
Fine. Well, you know what? I'm going to deviate from you.
Well, fine.
So I'll go back to the sophomores later. But anyway, I remember when Smith was right next to me, and Mr. Thompson, he was looking at Mr. Thompson, he's like, I'm taking small animals up the rear or something. Oh my god, that's awesome. He's so motivating. And then, as far as sophomores, I don't really know. That's all. That was it. I remember Mr. Douglas, Miss Clark. Oh shit, I was scared of Miss Clark, because you know them. Like, they're BAMFs. Oh, I was scared. I was like, she's about to... I don't know what she's about to do to me, but she scared the mess out of me. All I know, that's... And then I didn't even know really how to whip out. Like, I didn't have the words memorized, so Godwin was like right next to me, and I was like trying to memorize the whip out. I was like, okay, now I say this, da-da-da. I got it down.
I remember when I whipped out to Mr. Matthews on the quadrangle one day. I knew all of our sophomores, but I didn't know the backs of their heads. So I'm just running down the quadrangle to catch up to a sophomore who, had the black thing and he had the white cords. And I was like, okay, it's a sophomore. And as soon as I get up to the side, I go, how do you fit? And he looks at me,
Yeah.
And my brain goes, howdy, Mr. Matthews, sir. And my whole entire thing goes, howdy, my name. So I was like, shit, it's Mr. Matthews. I already did this.
You know what I want to do? I just want to see our sophomores. And like, I wish we would have done back then. Is just be like, howdy, Fish Conroe. Howdy, like to remind me of my name because.
I remember I looked up to Mr. Mahoney on a Thursday at Chow, and the next Friday we're getting smoked before we did band stuff. And he was like, do this fish Morgan, do this fish Fleming, do this fish whatever, do this fish whatever. And he looks at me for like 13 seconds and then just goes, keep putting out fish, we're doing deep knee bends. And I was like, wow, that's an integrity issue.
He totally does. No one knows Fish Landtrip's name. And then finally they're noticing
And then yesterday Mr. Sapak was like, buddy, Fish Lanthrop.
Lanthrop?
But no, the worst I've ever gotten was being called Fish Landers after Mr. Morris, whoever the hell that was, looked at my name tag
some turd.
from P2.
Totally, like this is what he did. He's like, oh, what's your name, Fish? Oh, like look at, like he was looking at it for about 13 seconds, not 13 minutes really. He's like, oh, howdy, Fish Landers, sir. I was like, wow,
Fish
yeah.
Landers,
He called him a third too.
May as well have. He doesn't know how to read.
It's not his privilege.
I get Landrip, but like I don't understand the whole S. Where do you get the S from?
I don't know. He was weird.
Cause what outfit was he in?
Oh, that explains it.
B2.
Oh man.
Oh, back to junior whip-outs. Mr. Rhodes knows that I remember that whip-out because he decided he was going to take me over to the drain and dump a canteen of water on me. That made life fun.
Who did that?
I'm not talking to Mr. Rose because he thinks I'm a man. Just kidding.
And then Mr. Reno made me sing. It was a good day. Or night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
This is fun. I like to do this back at my hole. Like,
He likes to play with balls.
Mr. Matthews.
CC's.
Don't turn it sideways, it won't work.
I wonder how loud that is. Like,
he's already fucked up the video because he turned the camera sideways.
Bitch!
No, we can keep that video on there now.
Give me my ball back.
Oh,
I'm gonna miss being a
we should
bitch.
bounce. We should bounce.
Stop moving the fucking camera
I'm gonna
around.
miss.
Hold it steady. Shit.
Next year, I'm gonna hate
She
being a
said.
sophomore with a room because as a fish, you can look at your buddy and say, "Get out of my hole right now," and it just sounds funny. And as a sophomore, you're like, "Get out of my room," and it sounds normal. It's
It does. It sounds gay. I like being a fish.
You see, like being all up in your buddy's holes.
Yeah.
I really do.
Fly out of this hole.
Can't know about
One
that.
day we need to pick up Clayton and just like chunk her. Whoosh, bam.
She like
Hit the wall and like Clayton flies out, hits the wall and then just down.
She was so sick one time, and little Miss Wilson decides to come in there and like freak out and have babies. So Fish Clayton was sick, and she like threw up all over the floor previous to this, and Godwin like got her a sick pack. And so little Miss Wilson comes in there and is like turning on all the lights, so clued out, and Clayton is like sick, and you're supposed to take them to another room, hole, whatever. And I was like, you know what you should have done? You should have just like thrown up like all over the walls, like fish hit the wall, blah, and the throw up, the throw up like hits the wall literally, and it like ricochets back into her face. That would be awesome.
she needed one of those little bark bags we got.
Yeah.
Oh my
you'll
God.
have barf bags.
Yes.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes. 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 Get it. Yes.
Oh, those barf bags.
Condoms. Yes.
That was the only thing good that came out of that.
How many did y'all steal? My buddies are Riri's.